Hiya world, I just wanted to make this very quick video just to show you three SoundCloud pages that you can all go ahead and listen to. Three of my recommendations. SoundCloud is a vehicle for up and coming musicians, shall we say, to post their sounds up. Also, it gets used by many famous names as well. Paul McCartney even has a SoundCloud page and SoundCloud page, beg your pardon. And quite often, a lot of sort of celebrity pop stars are using this as a vehicle to promote up and coming albums and maybe to sort of share like hidden gems. For example, Tears for Fears have put 12-inch versions of a lot of their singles on here as well, so it's well worth subscribing to. It's totally free. There are paid programs if you want to have unlimited, for example, space on here to post your own stuff, but you don't have to post your own stuff. You can just come on and listen. It's like the Flickr of the music world, really. And here are three of my recommended channels that or musicians that I would say listen to on here. The first one's been staring at you for a long time. It's by Vicetone. He's just a musician from Brighton in the UK. I've had some online sort of correspondence with him about his songwriting and what have you, and so perhaps I'm in a position really to know the stories behind some of these songs that he's written. But yeah, I really the more I listen to these songs, the more I absolutely adore them. Okay, there are a few cover versions here, as you can see. Make You Feel My Love's here, which is obviously the Bob Dylan stroke Adele kind of cover version. She's obviously famous for covering it, but this is beautiful, and it actually retains far more, I think, of Bob Dylan's original, and I've just commented on here to say so. But yeah, I think also that any of his songs here are easily a match for any of the cover versions that he's done here as well, because they are superb. My favourite song of his is Living Proof. I keep tweeting this one out for people to go and listen to. It's absolutely amazing. What he can do with just 2 loops, each consisting of 2 chords, is just phenomenal. Okay, and the way that his songs are so simply structured. I'm living proof of da 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 da. I'm living proof of da 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 da. Okay, and it's just this repetition that gets into your head and just stays there, and it the actual lyrical content of a lot of his work is about domestic violence, and you wouldn't necessarily think that domestic violence is actually sort of targeted at males, but it is. And kudos to him for actually bringing it to people's attention. And some of these songs are just they make me cry. They're so beautifully expressed. It's truly what pop music does. It expresses the hardship that we live in, but gives you kind of a vehicle and a way out, and a blow for freedom, as it were. And so Vi, just keep going, and I absolutely love your work, and I hope that through this video and through other people tweeting and what have you, that you actually become a household name. I'd love you to be. Okay, right, the other channel which I think's rather good is Q-Boy. Q-Boy is a guy called Marcos Brito. He's a gay rapper in in the United Kingdom, and his music reflects that, but not just that, but also a very positive image of the way that human beings ought to behave towards other human beings. Yes, there are some songs on here which have a slightly overt sexual content, but who cares about that? We love it anyway. He's done a version here of pop music, which was a hit. I can't remember who for, but it was a hit in the 70s for someone. It's extremely good. This song, Music Makes Us Dance, is, yeah, it should be on the radio everywhere. It's so catchy, it's amazing, and you can even get a free download. Although it wasn't majorly clear how to do that, but let me show you how to do it. Click on the actual track, says he, although it's not actually working through today, so I don't want to do that because I'll get done for copyright. But yeah, you can hear how loud that is, can't you? How do I do this? How do I do this? Because I did it today. All right. What one does is no, that doesn't work. No, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. SoundCloud is actually quite difficult to work. That's that one. That's not the. Trust me, you can actually download this as a freebie, okay? But I can't remember how you do it. All right. But what it actually what it does is it takes you to Facebook. You like the Music Makes Us Dance single on Facebook, and then it will give you access to the download, and you can download it. Okay, and it will play in anything, iTunes or Windows Media Player, whatever. Okay, Coming Out to Play, fantastic song. Ghetto is brilliant. Actually, one of his songs, which I actually think you ought to listen to, is his version of the Kate Bush song "Running Up That Hill," which he calls "A Deal with God," which takes the Kate Bush song in its entirety and superimposes a rap over the top, commenting on how, because the original song's about swapping places, human beings swapping places with God to try and see a different perspective, and this is about a bullied child and a school bully, and how the bullied child is wishing to kind of get the two to swap places so that the bully would actually then see what they were putting the other person through, in a kind of plea to kind of stop the bullying. And it's absolutely great. Okay, so yeah, it's not on there, but you can get it on iTunes, I think, and you can certainly see it on YouTube. Okay, that's called "A Deal with God." Yeah, so Q-Boy. And finally, the last one, which I won't bleat on about too much, but possibly, no, it's not actually the reason why I put this on, but it's actually me. Okay, I'm called MarkPMus because it wouldn't let me be called MarkPMus. Okay, I don't have that many listens on here. Okay, certainly not as many as Vicetone. Okay, but I'm here. Okay, and if I take you to my tracks, so you can just get me by just googling MarkPMus SoundCloud. Okay, the same as you can get Vivi just by googling Vicetone SoundCloud or Q-Boy SoundCloud. Okay, and you can get that just through the ordinary Google search engine. But if you join SoundCloud, which is free, you'll have access to all of these and more. Okay, this is my latest little track here. My goodness me. I've had 4 plays, people, in a day of my latest track, Don't Put Me Down. So yeah, I record, I put on here quite a few cover versions, which perhaps I shouldn't do. I don't know how legal it is, but I also put on some of my own stuff as well. Don't Put Me Down is a song that I wrote the other day and put up. I Could Catch Me an Angel is my version of the old Swedish Ted Gärdestad song. I googled the English translation of it. And I quite liked the concept behind the song, and so I wrote my own English words to it that would kind of fit the music and try and retain some of the Swedish lyrics kind of sentiments. Okay, this is my version of New York State of Mind, just because I felt like doing it. This is my song Municipal Gum, Persuade You or Chain You. Municipal Gum is made by my good internet buddy, Rudolf Ondrik, who lives over in Australia, doing very well for himself as a law student, but also writes some very nice classical style pieces. And his piece, Municipal Gum, I really liked, and I thought it would be an appropriate beginning to my song Persuade You or Chain You. All I Need Is Disco is from the musical Saucy Jack and the Space Vixens, which I went to see a good few times in the 1990s. It was done in a little club underneath London Bridge, and unfortunately it's not on anymore, but I was going to, I moved unfortunately, but I was going to put on this musical with one of my friends when I lived back in Essex, and so I made that demo for it, and it kind of pompously says 2013 remaster. I tried my best with the original two-track stereo thing, which was all I had. I found it on a mini disc actually, and I tried to kind of improve it slightly. Okay, this is my version of Say Hello, Wave Goodbye, which is one of my favourite karaoke numbers. Yes, I love that song, and I'm quite proud of my treatment of it, actually, believe it or not. Flash of Light is a song that you can hear on YouTube as well. I made a little black and white video to go with it last summer about a visit to Paris. Okay, My Immortal I made for my friend Bradley, it's the Evanescence song, and I was quite pleased with the way it turned out. It's not perfect, but I quite like it anyway. Strawberry Hair is one of my entries for the UK Songwriting Contest. I entered it last year. It actually got 6 out of 10, which I'm very pleased about. I'm Glad There Is You. I'm not really sure about why I even put that one there, because I don't necessarily think it's my best vocal performance, but I still love the song. You Don't Need Those Other Guys, one of my songs. Again, I entered that into the UK Songwriting Contest, got 5 out of 10, and I was a bit disappointed in that. Heaven on Earth is a song I wrote ages and ages and ages ago, in the wake of the 9/11, basically. The 2001, whatever, Twin Towers tragedy. Just makes the point that the world isn't necessarily getting a better place. With Pleasure, I wrote because I read this book by this Chinese DJ lady who told the story of women's struggles in China and how they've been oppressed, and she told these stories on the radio. And I likened it to the freedom and liberation that it must have brought for the women in China to hear their stories exposed on the radio. I likened it to kind of the liberation that kids from the 50s and 60s would have felt on hearing pop music and trying to smuggle the radio under their pillows to try and catch late night pirate radio stations playing rock and roll, and how there's this sort of gross sort of unfairness really that exists in our society, whereby one half can be dancing themselves away to music in discos and stuff, while the other half is living this in absolute tragedy and poverty, really. So there we go. Grow Your Hair is my take on poor Jamie Rodemeyer's death. Jamie Rodemeyer was the victim of homophobic bullying, and I kind of imagined this scenario whereby that he was just begging for one friend really to kind of stick up for him, yeah, it turned out there's actually quite a heavy spiritual slant to it as well. But I'm not going to go into that here. But it was essentially written for Jamie Roddenmeyer, and other people that are victims of bullying. I Did Wrong to the One I Love. One of my favourite books is by a lady called Patricia Nell Warren, and it's called The Front Runner. And I wrote this about two of the characters in The Front Runner. Sexy Sadie is my cover of a Beatles version. It's a remake because the version I made originally was bloody awful, and I posted it up on SoundCloud, and I do apologise for posting it up on SoundCloud because it was bloody awful. That this is a better one, and it's slightly faster in a lower key so that I can actually sing the damn thing. Careless Memories I made for my friend Liam Brown, who is one of my internet pals, who likes Duran Duran, and set me the challenge of making a Duran Duran cover version, and that was the one I chose, and that's what I did. Maybe I'm Stupid. Yeah, slightly sensitive lyrical content here, but yeah, all of the people in this song are people that I know personally or have known personally, and yeah, I love you all. Don Juan is one of my favourite Joan Armatrading songs, and for some reason or other I wanted to do a cover version of it, so I rustled that one up, I think in the space of about a day or something like that. And at the time I'd lost my voice completely, but it was beginning to come back when I did that vocal thing, and yeah, I actually quite like it. So out of all this lot here, I've amassed about 800 plays, and please people, can you make it some more? I don't make any money out of it at all, but it would be nice to have a large audience of people listening to my songs. I do thank you if you are one of the people who've listened to me, but yeah, okay. And don't follow me unless you're going to follow Vi and unless you're going to follow Q-Boy, because I love them all. Alright, okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll probably shove a few links in the description. Bye. How do I stop this?